Good afternoon, Oaks. It's me, Muzz here, loving this, getting things into it for the Trifecta team stream. Of course, my name is Rhino, but all gingers look the same. It's a good meme. And Quanzek is next to me. How are you, buddy?
Doing pretty good. I'm on the up after a very chaotic week, and in my mind, there's no better way to wrap things up than some very fun Rocket League that we have in store for us today. It is the GSL stage. It is the end game of the first Open for Sub-Saharan Africa. I'm excited, and this is the remedy that I need after how this week has gone for me. So I'm looking forward to it here right now.
Yeah, it's one of those days we're trying to take Quanzek's mind off the rest of the world, and hopefully yours as well. We should be here for, well, certainly both a long time and a good time, I would expect, Quanzek. We have got 8 teams here in our group of the GSL stage. Musty Fluck, Hybo, Limitless, ourselves, Shockeranilla, Ball Eater, Decimate Gaming, and Dunno Chief. 4 of those teams I've just mentioned will be through into the qualification, into the top 8. 4 will go home. And Quanzek, we hope to goodness that Trifecta is not one of those teams that crashes out here.
Yeah, I mean, double Elim, so you get 2 lives. There is a little bit of breathing room in that case, but when your first opening match draws against Limitless, and you gotta start on top. The climb begins high and mighty early. So we'll have to be the David to Limitless's Goliath here in our opening matchup. But with those 2 extra lives, there's some room to make into the final top 8 and get that mainstream broadcast coverage headed into tomorrow. So top 16 and Trifecta hoping to be that number 8, but they're going to have to start out hot here to give themselves the best chance right now.
It's going to be a fight. There's no doubt about it. A lot of people, certainly people in the Rocket League community, what is GSL stage? We've never seen this before in the RLCS. Is it Swiss? Is it double Elim? I'm here to tell you it's a little bit of both. You can see on the Wikipedia page, it's set out in a double elimination format. However, it is very, very similar to Swiss in the sense that if you win 2 games, you're through. If you lose 2 games, you're out. You've got 2 lives, or you need to get 2 victories on the day in order to get yourself through into that top 8. So I'm hearing the game is just about getting ready. Trifecta versus Limitless. Quanzek, I'm not going to ask you for a prediction because, to be honest, we don't want to go against the team that we're team streaming. However, I will ask you what you think the game plan for Trifecta is going to be.
Yeah, I mean, we saw... I unfortunately missed some of Sunday due to personal reasons, but from what I caught, this team seemed to be firing on a lot of cylinders, connecting with each other. We saw the mechanics come out in force, and I think more than anything, if they are able to, I don't want to say adapt, because that's really like, oh, wow, look at this guy playing both sides. But yeah. I think what you don't want to do is play into Limitless's game. If you're matching their speed, if you're matching their pace, and you are enabling them to dictate exactly the type of game that is played, I think that is troubling. But a little bit more care to possess the ball on top of, you know, finding each other in the infield and going for those mechanical plays. I just think possession should be the name of the game for Trifecta moving forward here. So resist Jaguar. You hear me. I don't have the coaching prowess that you do, but that's my 2 cents.
Assistant coach Quanzek here to help. And got to give a couple of shout outs as well. The guys that we're opposite, of course, casting for Limitless, Mr. Bepic and your boy Q. Some fantastic talent over there. Go and give them some love in another tab. Don't leave us here because we're going to be providing the excitement. However, I do want to raise, I've got a little bone to pick with Mr. Bepic over there, because in his tweet to broadcast the fact that he's casting today, he has said, got a spicy rematch with Musty Fluck on the horizon. Now, I'm going to just assume that that's
He's
what
already written us off?
Yeah, I'm going to assume that I'm going to assume that he says that about the lower bracket quarterfinal. I think that's what's going to happen. All right? You know, Limitless loses first round. Must-Do-Fluck loses first round. They meet each other in the lower bracket quarterfinals. I assume that's what he meant, because just writing Trifecta off like that is only going to bring pain and suffering, and I hope that it does for you, Mr. Bepic. Just kidding. I appreciate you. I respect what you do a lot, but that tweet was very inflammatory. Either way, game number 1. Who's it going to be? Trifecta and Limitless go head-to-head in 5 minutes of Rocket League.
You saying that right now, I've just let Bepic know a piece of my mind. He has a response to that tweet. We're not going down without a fight in Trifecta. Showing that right now, some early pressure here immediately garnered, but Snowy, I mean, this is a roster that tried and true. How long have they stuck together at this point? Whoa. I mean, this is, they've made it to majors, they've made it to LAN events, and they are the official guard that stands watch and protects over SSA. So Trifecta, they definitely have their work cut out for them, but they're looking better than Limitless in this initial opening 45 seconds.
Yeah, you would definitely refer to this Limitless roster as the final boss, and it's also worth mentioning that just asking our producer if he can swap those teams around for me, please, as Trifecta are on the orange side. Thank you so much. As Sweaty will try and brings one away. Oh, Eli had a real chance there, had a freebie gifted to him, and he fires it over the bar. That was a real opportunity for 1-0. Big mistake from Limitless. Kexii's moving down the line, gets the better of one, can't get there at the near post. Flying through as Eli once again. This one goes long, and now it's going to be a nice pass from To Die For. Snowy collects. It's the 100. Oh, takes it around one. Snowy going around, but not going to be able to find much more. It's picked up by Sweaty, but cleared away by Kexii. Trifecta defending well to start this game.
I'm going to rally to Eli's defense here initially. I don't think that ball squirting out in his direction was, like, expected by any means. The amount of respect that you would give this roster as a player on the opposite side of the pitch, those are mistakes you don't see coming your way. You're not anticipating them. And so that one really, I think, just filtered out his way, came off his car, but he's looking for redemption here, trying for that short post. And To Die For, a little bit of an awkward save, but does get credit for it. Limitless still stuck in their half. Kexii, a little bit of disruptance in that crease. Demo on the back end. That may finally open up enough breathing room for Limitless to break out as they do so.
Oh, but it's a huge interception by Valid. He's moving back down the field, but To Die For, big interception. And the thing that we have to remember about Limitless is these guys, they've got a mistake in them. They are not unbeatable. Every single SSA season we see it. They get overconfident at the start. They start to wane a little bit until they start to realize, oh, actually we have to play Rocket League. Okay, let's play Rocket League. And at the moment, seems to be in that position just yet. That's a nice clearance by Eli. Will be collected by Kexii. Oh, he just can't win the 50. Valid into the corner. To Die For has to be careful. Wasn't careful enough. Into the middle, but Sweaty clears that one away. And now it will be Sweaty trying to bring this one further out. Kexii plays the 50 beautifully. Ball into the middle. It's a freebie again. It's Eli! Trifecta take the lead against Limitless. Not something I thought we'd be saying at the start of this game, but I love that we are.
It's a lead, and at that, Rhino, it is one that has been very well assured. They've looked in the driving seat this entire game, not leaving Limitless's half, not allowing any sort of real shots on net, and constantly getting this pressure going there. This is a little bit spooky, almost have me swallowing my words as all three of them cluster up on the backboard, and we do finally see Limitless trying the Trifecta net initially, but this is a Trifecta team
nice shot.
Oh, off the post, off the crossbar. It's a Trifecta team that is playing to their pace. That was my only real piece of advice heading into this, is don't fall into what Limitless wants to do, and Trifecta exerting their will whenever they would like to so far.
They are. This is not the indomitable Limitless that we have come to know and somewhat like. This one is a Limitless that look a little bit broken, a little bit unsure of themselves. Trifecta continue the way that they are, then there is a serious game to be played here. Oh, I thought that save had come through. Snowy laser from midfield. A difficult position for Trifecta where there was just not a lot of boost on Oh, and it's Kexii tries to get up, just can't make the save. Back level, 55 seconds. Trifecta are well in this game.
Yeah, I mean, that was an equalizer from Limitless, not Trifecta. They do have to make sure this one doesn't go in off the kickoff. Maybe it was too good to be true. A quick kickoff goal gonna fall in. Eli just very awkward, and all Snowy has to do is pick his spot. He will do so. So we're in the spot that we expect it to be. Trifecta down and having to come up with some heroics. 15 seconds to do so. I'm not gonna write them off, but that is a very swift 2-goal swing to maybe quiet us down a bit over here.
What I will say is this is going to be a really kind of rough couple of seconds on the mental. You had the lead against Limitless going into the final minute of game number 1. And I think it's fair to say, oh, that's a miss as well. Snowy gets his hat trick. And Limitless, they start to run away with it. But Trifectas, they have caused their own downfall here. That's Valid, who is unchallenged there, should be able to clear that one away with no real problems. You can blame Ping if you like. He's obviously over in Saudi. But unfortunately, game number 1 looks like now Limitless will be able to see this one out. Trifecta have to give us a reason to believe that is not the case. The way that Limitless look like they're going to defend, it's not going to give us a chance. And that will be game number 1 going the way of Limitless. And it may be the result that we were expecting, but I don't think it was in the way that anyone thought this one was going to go. Trifecta fought against the SSA God Squad right the way for 4 minutes of that game, and the final minute has let them down. But yeah, that's a wake-up call for Limitless. They know they're in a game here.
Yeah, I think the means of how we've gotten to this 4-1 deficit, you said it correctly, is not how we would have expected it to come across here, as you see a plethora of information laid out in front of you.
Look at field domination. 66% in Trifecta's favor.
Because they were legitimately in Limitless's half for 4 minutes, up until Limitless scored and the floodgates opened. Trifecta were having their will, and that 66%, that's the takeaway that you have to have from this game. Brutal on the mental, you said it yourself. Yeah. But when you dictate the game, when you get on the board first, when you don't enable any sort of opportunities on your own net against Limitless, I'm Limitless against Limitless. You have to be happy about that result. Now, you know, maybe you work on finishing it, and Resist Jaguar gets them back in the right mental space. He says, you know what, you guys played, you were the better team, you just let it slip. Regardless of what the outcome is, Limitless has to be on watch, because Trifecta outplayed them in that first game. Just one too many unforced errors, and that scoreline ends up 4-1.
Yeah, so, yeah, the scoreline probably looks like something that people would have predicted before a ball was kicked. I think people probably would have argued maybe 4-1 to Limitless sounds about right. However, yeah, just the way we got there. Double demo from To Die For. Sending people to their deaths as this one now over to the right-hand side. And not a kickoff goal at the start of this game too, which normally would probably benefit Limitless. But right now, the way that Trifecta are playing, I would argue it benefits us a little bit more. We're allowed to actually play some Rocket League, get this one down the field, get in the face of Limitless. They don't like it. Eli goes around, looks for the bottom left. Good save by To Die For, but more attacking play coming through from Trifecta.
And it shows you that they're not like just gonna say, oh, we lost game 1, we're just gonna go into what everybody expected this series to be now. Eli showing that there's still fight in this team. They still want to play their game. They're keeping up the possession almost identically to what that game number 1 was. Letting this dude finally break out of their half. Here's Kexii, full boost in the corner. This is a wayward ball that nobody can make contact with. All the way to the other side. Sweaty has to go retreat defense after that free infield pass. Kexii, north of the crossbar.
And they must be so scared right now, Limitless. I mean, this is such an impressive Trifecta squad. That pass inside, absolutely gorgeous. Hang on a moment. Kexii's gone through. Sweaty makes the save. but I thought they were just going to be a little bit lost. And actually, Snowy goes by that one. That's an easy shot that you thought he would have every day of the week. Maybe didn't have the boost to make it happen. Valid. What have you got for us? He swapped off the full stop only the full stop only name, so you know it's serious now. Eli over to the left-hand side. Gonna try and get the better of to die for. Can't do so. Kexii sit through one. Tries to get it down the left, and he just misplaces that touch. And now it looks like Trifecta are playing scared. And maybe they've got a reason to. And they do. Just not challenging early. Not pushing forwards. Valid is the only one pushing downfield. It's a nice passing play from Limitless, but it's not one that should go completely unchallenged. Trifecta have to maybe give a little less respect to the Kings of SSA.
Almost identical in how that one played out. Actually, that infield passing play, we hit that same tic-tac-toe, but the shot ended up north of the crossbar from Kexii, and I do think just a little bit more infield pressure is going to do Trifecta very well here, but we've seen them have their moments in the initial half of this game. Sweaty over the top of one and Valid. I think this might be the first time that both of us are probably covering a mid-series name change. We see the card changes all the time, but yeah, Valid says no more Mr. Nice Guy out here to die for. Good 50, but he gets it really swiftly played around him by Eli.
Yeah, Kexii. Yeah, double.
Jump off no boost to get back down, unfortunately, so Valid has to go collect, but Trifecta, I mean, this is patent pressure. It's an open net. Nobody's there. The rotations are so wide, but they're not enabling Limitless to break out.
This is that second man pressure. This is the respect we're giving Limitless right now. We should be pushing forwards. Our second man should be pretty much right behind the play, ready for those balls across the box, ready to challenge, because Limitless have made a couple of double commits. They've made a few mistakes. They really are not on top form. That's another mistake, giving Eliakim a free shot in front of net. Trifecta draw level with Limitless after Snowy hits that one off the back of his own backboard.
It's wonderful, it's clinical, and you just have to feel like they've knocked on that door of Limitless one too many times. It was just a matter of time before it got torn to the ground. Kexii trying to go for something nifty here from that sidewall after getting that full boost, but now on the retreat, and look at that! Snowy, I don't know if it's skill or luck, but regardless, the redirect touch here off the bounce, off the back of Valid's car, puts it into the back of Trifecta's net.
Maybe you can look at that being a poor challenge from Valid, maybe. But realistically, there's no way of predicting. He's got his car in front of the ball. He as far as he's concerned, he's blocked it. And then for that pinch to come through, so unfortunate for the side of Trifecta as this one comes through from to die for. He's just going to let that one drop. Good save by Eli, and Snowy lets Trifecta off the hook. There wasn't a player at that near post. If Snowy hits that in on target, and that was a goal. Eli having to recover, doing well. That's a miss. Takes it forwards. Eli's got a shot. Sweaty will just be able to push to the side, but the defense is at sea. There's a chance at the back post, but Valid can't get over the ball, doesn't have the boost to work with. Demo comes through into the corner, away by Snowy. Valid to play the 50. Plays it better against Snowy this time, but doesn't have the boost to follow through. And a little bit of time wasting happening from Limitless. That's how you know they're a little scared of this Trifecta roster.
Yeah, just trying to use the clock to their side. Happy to turtle up with Trifecta bearing down here. Kexii trying to be the one to toe the line for this team to die for. Beats two with one touch, but good collection by Eli. Gets demoed for those efforts, though, and to die for. Able to sneak in and get that full boost, but it's a breakout play. Valid looking for Eli. No, going himself. Sweaty. It's an epic save, but oh, infield again to Eli. Look at the dunk. Nobody's there to follow up, though, so Snowy just getting it out of the middle, doing anything they can to buy any amount of time. Valid looking for any sort of bumps. They send the house, but it leads to an open net on the back end. That will be the nail in the coffin, but Trifecta still showing some fight despite the scoreline saying otherwise.
This one is like when a Premier League team is 2-0 down in the 90th minute and they need to get that goal back. So the third one does not count, folks, all right? We were going to get done on the counter-attack. There's no problems there. 6 seconds to go. It's always going to happen. we lose this game 2-1, maybe 3-2. Not going to happen, as that one does drop. Limitless win a second game of the day. But again, I just want to watch these stats. This one a little bit more difficult, more even. However, field domination once again in favor of Trifecta. They are doing a fantastic job of keeping Limitless penned in their defense, and Limitless are having to play counter-attacking Rocket League, which is definitely not something they're used to doing in the open qualifiers, let alone top 16 before we get to main event. Trifecta are pushing Limitless closer and closer every game we play.
100%. It is, I'm sure, a change of pace for Limitless in the style that they're used to seeing. It's the efficiency that's really plaguing Trifecta right now more than anything. We see them, it's swarming offense constantly, as we're seeing by that field domination stat. But the breakthrough is just not being able to put that ball in the back of the net. It takes them multiple tries. If they can tick that up, convert more of their opportunities, I mean, this roster, the sky is the limit. But for right now, Limitless is doing well, just biding time, getting those counter-attacking goals. And so Trifecta, I do think they're playing it closer than what a lot of people would expected, just haven't been able to get one in the W column quite yet.
I'm going to tell you right now, Quanzek, this is not a 3-0 series.
No.
If Limitless sweep, that is going, I mean, that's going to give them so much fake confidence, and it may even scare Musufluk, who are obviously going to be likely meeting them in that upper bracket semi-final. However, the way that Trifecta have played here, I really hope they don't drop their heads with, oh, we lost 3-0 to Limitless. You really didn't. What's happened here is Limitless have just been more clinical. They've taken more of the opportunities they've been afforded, but Trifecta have had more of the possession. They've had more of the field. They have had the game basically in their grasp for a majority of it, and Limitless have had to resort to this. They've had to resort to demo plays. They've had to resort to bump plays. It may be the meta, it may be the way they're playing, but Trifecta are forcing them to play that way.
Yeah, no, it's a situation that Limitless is in where they're winning purely based off of their consistency, which is really what is the defining factor between a lot of teams at this rank, at this skill disparity, especially competing in the top 16 in RLCS, excuse me. It is just Limitless being able to connect on these balls, connect on these plays, or put their shots on target that Trifecta. We haven't necessarily seen the same efficiency, but Kexii has other plans in mind.
The brick comes through, gets Trifecta into the lead in game 3. I said this didn't feel like a sweep series. It didn't feel like a 3-0. Kexii wants to prove that it isn't. Just over a minute played. Oh, and maybe a second. Valid gets a demo. That's just going to go through. It's 2 to the good for Trifecta. Eli on the board. Now we're cooking. Now we are in the ascendancy. 2-0.
And we've been looking for this through 11 plus minutes of Rocket League. Trifecta's looked like they're poised for a breakout. They're looking like they could run away with the multi-goal lead at any point. Maybe make it 3.
Get there.
Valid. Kexii, no, Snowy, last second save, but Trifecta are hungry. You see that, they're bearing down. What a good 50 by Eli. He's gonna get around and get that full boost as well. Trifecta have found another gear, and Limitless is having to answer for it.
We want 10. We want 10. We want 10. Snowy gonna send this one back downfield. Eli is up to challenge. We know Limitless are a dangerous team. We know what they're going to come back with. However, they have, if you were to say normally in open qualifiers and SSA, they're like a lion. These days, they're like a small little house cat. They're really not showing that they have that bite in them anymore. Or certainly not for this game. There's a chance that they will find it in the main event. We know what these players are capable of. They're capable of a lot more than this. But I tell you what, Trifecta doing work. No second man again. Been a common problem across this series for Trifecta. And I respect that they're trying to play a little bit more reserved. I respect that they're trying to make sure that they don't get caught out. However, oh my goodness, to die for makes a save. Trifecta running rampant against Limitless. Maybe another one, and it's got it off Valid. Let's go off the crossbar. I thought that one was going to hit the backboard and come back out again. But no, Valid strikes, makes it 3.
They're faster than Limitless right now. They're boost starving Limitless. And the only error I'm seeing out of this Trifecta team is when their attacking man is rotating out after they've done their job. If the mid full boost is not there, they're not collecting pennies. They're going all the way back into the corner to find that full boost, which is why we see these plays falling apart a couple of times when the second man just isn't there. But regardless of how nitpicky I want to get, they're still up 3-0, and they're playing fantastically. For the first time, they're having to be tasked defensively. Nobody's on this ball that could spell danger, but Valid just going to race across, and Snowy opting for the full boost as opposed to the ball. It's dangerous in front of the net. Does get a demo on the back end, but it will turn into maybe an opportunity here as Valid tries the backboard. They'll be handled easily. We're ticking down ever closer to 90 seconds here. And Limitless in search of 3 against Trifecta.
Where you at, Bepic? Huh? Where you at now? Looking past Trifecta like it wasn't going to be a tough game. This team, this roster, they know how to bring it. They know what to do. That's a nice pass, but it's met by Valid. Dyfor actually left that ball. He knew he was beaten. And now Eli goes up to the ceiling. That one drops down, and Dyfor will bring it away. The time starting to tick down, but not fast enough for my liking. And that's going to be Snowy follow through. Maybe we got a little confident in the booth. And when I say we, it was me specifically. Maybe there was a little bit of overconfidence being called. We know Limitless can bring this back. They have done in the past. Trifecta, do not make this another final minute bottle, please. Sit tight. Don't concede a kickoff goal here. That has succeeded. So now we start to play some Rocket League. We play some defense, and we just make sure this game goes forward.
Yeah, I mean, this is Trifecta having to be called up to the plate. Limitless has scored, and Trifecta just have to lock down the hatches for the remaining 45 seconds.
Nice.
They were tested just there. That one won't get into the net, but it is going to turn into a full field clear. Sweaty putting his ball behind this one actually leaves that 4 to die for off the ceiling with enough boost. Oh, this is dangerous. That what a good touch though by Eli. Gets it out of the middle when he didn't really have any pace to put that anywhere else. This clock continues to tick down. 2-goal lead still held on to, but it feels like it's almost by straws right now. I'm getting a little bit anxious, but that clear, oh, that should do it. It won't go in, but all of that went off the post. It will buy enough time, which at the end of the day is what we needed more than anything.
The minute that you see Limitless score, having been 3-0 down, and they come back to 3-1, you do start to question things. You do start to get a little nervy. But Trifecta didn't get nervy. Trifecta didn't get worried. Once again, over 55% field domination, over 50% ball possession, and they are looking so good right now. They are meeting Limitless on boost consumption. Known often, Limitless, by the way, as the fastest team in SSA, they are pretty much matching them for speed and boost, and that is absolutely huge. So, day 4 is here. We are in Series 1, and not only are we in Series 1 against Limitless, Quanzek, we are very much in with a shout in Series 1 against Limitless.
I think if you erased the score lines from the 3 games that we've had thus far, and you just gave somebody like the stats that we're seeing post game and said, hey, which team is ahead in the series right now? I think the majority of people are going to side on the side of Trifecta. Yeah. Now, the series score says otherwise. It's 2-1 Limitless. But the games that have been played, they've looked in favor of Trifecta. They've looked disciplined. They've had that possession. We're seeing that field dominator mark way up there in the rafters. So, I mean, just one more game, and all of a sudden, it's a game 5 between these two teams with a lot on the line.
And I mean, you never want to count Limitless out. That is one thing that if we've learned anything from the SSA region for years and years and years, you cannot count these players out at any given time. But if you were to predict if this game was going to go to a game 5, the way that these two teams are playing, you would probably say that, yeah, it's likely to go that way. A bump on the goal line from Snowy, cleared away by Eli, just wants to play the 50, does well. Kexii into the corner, wants to double, does not find it, and it does not really fake out the defender either. That one off the backboard, but it'll away by Kexii. Now he takes it forward. Now it's time. Try FECTA, and that is a beautiful clearance from Val.
I'm trying to get it from Muzz was way it was the dive missed ball but why is that being trifecta going to take back over here? We help come over was Eli off the side has a lot of it get there. Well, Jinger did a decent opportunity, but he wasn't actually in the post on target there. Sweaty slippery set. That's the safety. Outlast over to Eli. Definitely for those efforts, and I don't think he collected that full either, which means this is dangerous. Look at that defense by Kexii off the backboard, doing all that they can to get there and intercept that ball over his own goal. Valid just happy to buy some time, allow his teammates to get some boost, and we're looking. This is the first time, I think, all series we've seen consistent back and forth play, which, believe it or not, does not mean that Trifecta is competing. It means that Limitless is more even in the early stages of this game number 4.
Really does, and I totally agree with you. This game really feels like it could go either way. Looking at the way both teams are playing currently, that could be a nice challenge from Valid. He's very eager. All three members of Trifecta were very, very close on that midfield line. Could have spelled disaster. In the end, Valid's going to have to rush back. That's a nice pass into Snowy, but cut off by Eli. The reading of the play from Trifecta today has been better than I arguably saw it in the Swiss stage last week. It has been so good. And you just get the impression that if they play like this all day today, top 8 is beckoning. As this one moves into the midfield, Snowy sends it over to a teammate. Over half the game played, still 0-0. Could change here. Kexii gets that pass back, but that's just not where Eli wants to be. He's a little too far pushed up. He has the boost. He gets demoed. And Limitless might be able to build again. No. Valid. Huge challenge on one. Huge challenge on a second, but the bump play comes through again. Limitless are relentless. Sweaty wants the bump play. He's got it. To Die For follows through. Limitless take the lead. That is a brutal counter-attack.
Yeah, that bump on Kexii really ruined any sort of chance, and Kexii snuck down pretty low in order to have that come to fruition, but was more dangerous more than anything. Eli was in a good position as a third man, but it was clean recoveries from every member on Limitless, so all of a sudden it turned into a 3v1 going the other way with Eli on an island. So Trifecta in a hole, which is somehow uncommon for them this series. We have not been in an opening deficit many times. But if you pass, Valid, trying to get it in. Sweaty has other plans in mind, though. Good dominating save. Kexii, short post and To Die For. Called upon this time. Limitless. They're three turtles just sitting in the middle of their net in the corner. They don't want to leave. Oh, Kexii can't get it down off the backboard. And Trifecta, a trifecta of 3 brilliant opportunities, but they can't get any of them to find pay dirt. So this clock, 60 seconds, and we're still looking for an equalizer.
Just have a day off, Limitless. Just, you know what I mean? Just like this. You don't want this as much as we want this. Just let one through. Yeah. Content, boys. You know, we're Rocket League players. You guys want content. Maybe
yeah, overtime for fun, man.
Yeah. This one gets sent away. Eli inside, but will only find Sweaty. That one looks like it'll waterfall. He gets the demo. Eli has to be careful. It's just about careful enough. Sweaty will come through. What a 50 that is. Valid. Those early challenges, they are going to be so key against the worst teams in this region today. There's that one over on the right-hand side. To Die For looking for something. He actually fakes it out. Valid is able to catch, but this is wasting time off the clock. Kexii on the right-hand side will not be challenged immediately. Off the ceiling. Demo onto Eli. That could be the end of Trifecta's challenge for Limitless. As Eli will take this through again. Back from the dead. Kexii gets there first. Off the backboard. There's a chance. There's an equalizer. We're not done yet. There's still a chance. 6 seconds. Trifecta finds something out of nothing.
It's a completely uncharacteristic miss by Snowy, but we've seen those plague Trifecta a couple times in this series. We just had to get one to fall our way. Trifecta all tied up. No kickoff shenanigans, please. Valid.
Yeah, no kidding.
Chasing down this one against To Die For. We'll get another touch of that ball. It's going to hit the turf, and we have overtime. Trifecta giving Limitless a run right now in game number 4 in overtime. We've been confident with what this team and what their peak is, what their ceiling is in this region, and they're showing it to us right now, but they need to get out of their own way on the backboard. Eli, good touch to get over the top of one. Valid gonna force it forward, and that means Limitless has to go reset in their own half.
Eli just can't get it past the die for, but just get the feeling that Trifecta, they are in the ascendancy. If they're able to get this overtime victory, which is not a lock by any means of the word, but if there is a chance, if they do get this second goal on this game, Eli's going to try and do that now, looking for the top left. Oh, Sweaty just about stretching to make that save. Trifecta dangerous again. If they get this second goal is the point I'm making. There will be momentum in Trifecta's favor. You would feel like they're favorites to take this series. Sweaty clears this one away. Eli's waiting. No, it's Valid. Up the side wall, but that one's going to find a Limitless player. Nice shot. Good save by Eli. Needs more. Cleared away just about by Kexii. Valid will come through, taking a shot away by To Die For. He will look to get the second touch as well. Catches beautifully. And now the demo on To Die For. He's been the one dishing out the demos most of today, but he has been sent back to his own side. 1 minute 30 on the clock on overtime. A goal must be found, and at the moment, it really could go either way.
Yeah, a little bit of a concerning state right now. Trifecta very low on boost totals, and they haven't been able to break out of their own half. To Die For off the ceiling, has a flip. What a challenge by Kexii. Meets him at the point of contact, and then it goes in his own favor. Good challenge by Eli, but this is really awkward. The demo's gonna help. Valid has to chase behind and will do just that. We see the demo, the smoke screen that blinds everybody at home. Eli, a piece of it. Snowy does get the full boost and the ball. Eli, good cut though. He has help. Kexii towards the ball. Snowy, really good positioning on that challenge. And oh man, I'm gonna take a little bit of a breather here because my heart's starting to beat for these guys here on the pitch. Valid trying to get something going on his own. Eli, look at this touch. It's a pass out.
That's off
it
the
could
top.
ricochet back in. No, Sweaty gonna handle that one, and back the other way go Limitless.
Yeah, Valid down the right-hand side. He's been early challenging all game. He's been phenomenal for getting Trifecta up the pitch. It's not going to happen this time. Eli has to maybe make a little bit of room for his teammates to get back. He's done just that. It's a good clearance by Valid, but it's collected by To Die For. He will keep the ball as well. So mechy in the air is To Die For. Over to that far side. Snowy off the top. Ball into the middle. Valid will be there, but no boost really to put his foot through that one. Sweaty will collect. Now in the middle. Sweaty looking for help. He finds the teammate. It's off the post. Trifecta given a lifeline as that defensive play just about works out. And it's all about which team wants to take that big chance. It could be Limitless. It hits the crossbar. It's back across. It's now a chance for Kexii to clear. He can't find the 50. To Die For off the backboard. He's got no boost to work with. Snowy will pick up the 100 off the backboard. Double not to be found. Kexii over to the right-hand side. And it's so end-to-end right now. Valid, huge win in the corner. Wins it a second time. Get the bump. No, not quite. Pushed away over 3.5 minutes of OT played. Kexii's got a chance. Wants the 50. Is being followed. Valid's back. He's going to get there first, but he gets challenged. And it's still all to play for.
Kexii trying to challenge To Die For, but can't necessarily make contact. Oh, you see Valid soaring in there. A shot out of a cannon in order to make contact there. Eli, booming clear. Valid all out boost. It actually bumps his own teammate. That is a very quick halt to this offensive. So Trifecta happy to just go back, retreat to their own side, grab some boost. This is dangerous. Eli, good touch. Over to the opposite corner for Kexii, looking to flip the field here. Nice. Eli over the top of one. It's towards the net To Die For. What a good read, and lying in the weights there. Sweaty. It's on target and Valid. The rotation holds through. Kexii around one, looking for Eli, looking for help. Gonna get a demo. Gonna remove somebody off of the pitch. It's an exterminator out there, and all of a sudden this ball's floating in the midfield with no one to make contact. It's like everybody's so afraid to have any sort of possession on this ball. Valid, not the touch that they wanted. It's out of harm's way for now, though. Snowy,
that's a good 50.
Where's the No, you're Sweaty! Playing it underneath Eli on the backboard, and it's really just teed up off that that dunk there by Snowy. What a challenge.
That challenge by Snowy is exactly the kind of play that Limitless are able to make. We know that. And it just took a moment of brilliance. But just, again, I beg you, look at those middle graphics. Trifecta are as good as Limitless in this current day, at this current time, in this open qualifier. They may have lost 3-1. We see that as a thing. Mustufluck have also got through 3-1, by the way. So that will be a rematch that I'm sure Limitless are looking at and probably quaking in their boots a little bit, given how close Trifecta were able to run them today. But Quanzek, that you just feel heartbroken for them, because I genuinely believe if that goal in overtime goes the way of Trifecta, Game 5 is ours to lose. And there's just some brilliance that comes through from Limitless in the attacking third. That's all it ended up being.
Yeah, momentum massively in our favor, but that's why you can never write off Limitless, right? They do very well under pressure, and all it takes is a brilliant solo play by Snowy in order to get that ball in front of Trifecta's net. I think Trifecta played well. They did a good job to get themselves there. What we really needed more than anything was just one of those first initial 2 games to go our way. We saw the play that we were bringing to them, just couldn't capitalize on any sort of wins early in that series. So it'll start off with a loss today, but I think the team has to be happy. I'm happy with how they played, and I think next time we draw Limitless in some sort of series, man, Limitless better count their lucky stars to come in with the game plan, because that was a series.
They're going to be a little scared. Right, 1 life down. 1 life remaining. We'll be back just after this break with Trifecta versus Hybo.
This is where your story begins. I'm sorry I won't be there to see it, but I don't want you to be sad that I'm gone. I want you to be amazed that any of us ever had a chance to be here at all. Good luck.
Have we all had some time to calm ourselves down?
Much
Because
needed.
I think we all needed that. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Trifecta team stream brought to you by myself and Quanzek. And Quanzek, Trifecta have given their fans a lot to be confident about moving into the rest of this GSL stage.
Yeah, I mean, we saw it all here, the potential that this team has. And usually, I mean, potential recently in my own mind has a little bit of a negative connotation to it because it means like what you're not reaching as opposed to what you could reach.
Yeah.
But there, you have to look at that last series in a very positive light. Limitless have been the team in SSA for years on end now, and Trifecta, I think, played the better Rocket League possession-wise, control-wise, and like momentum and speed-wise. There's just a few errors that came our way that led to some counterplay, led to some transitions, and especially us losing those first couple of games. If that series is a best of 7, I think we might get in there. Genuinely, there's a lot to be happy about if you're a Trifecta fan based off that first series.
There is a conversation to be had, but not one that we will have today. If we get through to the top 8, that's all best of 7 games, so there's a chance when we get to that point. If we get to that point, 2 wins required with only 1 loss available. Just to bring you some updates from around the groups. Mustafluck beat Hybo 3-1, and so we will play Hybo in this next game. Limitless, of course, beat us 3-1, so those two will play each other in the upper bracket semi-final. 1 win away from top 8. Chocoranilla 3-0 loss to Ball Eater, and then maybe one that a lot of people might be surprised about. Dunno Chief beats Decimate Gaming 3-1. That was a pretty handy win by Dunno Chief, so they will play Ball Eater in that upper bracket semi-final. The other lower bracket quarterfinal alongside us is Chocoranilla versus Decimate Gaming, and unfortunately, if I was a betting man, that is the end of the road for Chocoranilla on that side. Decimate Gaming just a little bit too strong, but I hear we have lobby details. We'll be bringing you Hybo versus Trifecta very soon, and Quanzek, we've already played Hybo, and we absolutely slapped them off the park.
Yeah, it was a clinic in the Swiss stage. I think everybody here running the Trifecta stream would be expecting nothing but the same out of this roster, especially considering the stakes that are now attached to the series. We've lost 1 series, and as you introduced everything, win 2, you're on, lose 2, you're gone. And so with that first one loss,
I like that. Win 2, you're on, lose 2, you're gone. I like that.
I don't even know if it was intentional, but I'll take credit for it.
Yeah, carry on.
The result here means that, you know, we're playing on our last life, which Maybe he kicks into a different gear for both of these teams. I think we're going to go to the pitch here, officially underway. It does look like we're good to go and no test lobby here.
Yeah.
Limitless, they have moved on, so the overlay will need to be updated.
Oh, yeah.
But
Yeah, we are
that-
not the Limitless team stream. We are, in fact, the Trifecta team stream.
But once that gets sorted, it will be Trifecta in the blue and Hybo in the orange, and the enemies, so to speak, for our opening series for our series will get the opening goal.
Yeah, not ideal start, but plenty of time left in this series. And listen, Skill Seal, he's been around the block a time or two. He knows exactly what this region is all about. Knows how to play some Rocket League as well. So him taking these two young'uns in Devour and Ravioli, they are not going to be an easy test for us. They are definitely going to be here to fight. That's a nice win by Valid. Wants a double, cleared away by Ravi. This one will be collected, you'd think, by Eli, who catches well, but can't really play the 50. That one cleared long. Picked up by Skill Steel, who might look to run the pitch here. Takes it through, trying to get past Eli. Does do so, but the backboard defended well by Valid. More of those good defensive plays needed from the Trifecta boys if we're to get past this challenge.
Kexii, very low boost, just has to do what they can with that ball. And as we're about 2 minutes lapsed in this game, not the result that I think we would have expected, at least scoreline wise. And it does feel like the blue side just maybe cursed today, because this is a lot of what Limitless was going through against us, just kind of being bog watered down in their own half.
Yeah.
As Valid will get that booming clear. We've seen a couple looks down the opposite direction, but they haven't really manifested into any shots for Trifecta. So we will keep on trying. This is a good start here with that demo. Devour able to get that clear. Valid off the sidewall, but he has no help, and having to avoid the demo on the backline was Kexii. They'll get demoed, and that'll be a second for Skill Steal.
That's a communication mistake from Trifecta there, as Kexii really should have been, calling to his teammates, I'm getting chased, I'm getting demoed. His teammates were halfway up the field, so not the best start in the world for Trifecta. Hope they can turn this one around. We know how well they played against Limitless. Hope they're going to be able to do the same. But it's fair to say, Hybo, they are doing the same thing to Trifecta that we did to Limitless. They are challenging everything early. They're making sure we don't get anything in the air for free. There's another example of it. We win. But once again, another bump play comes through. And it's just so difficult to get anything going when you're being disrupted as often as Hybo are trying to disrupt us. That's a really nice 50 played by Kexii, but with no boost. Can't follow it through. Nice shot from Eli. We'll look for this one. Valid on the right side. We'll look to take this one to the top shelf. Gets a nice shot, and that will be a goal back for Trifecta. The Saudi sniper strikes from the top shelf.
That was a thing of beauty, and I love the Saudi sniper as well. The amount of pace put behind that from the ceiling. There's enough to have it go off the ground and back into the top shelf of the net. So Valid doing the things that we've come to expect from him on this roster. As he's looking to go again with a little pogo shenanigans. Can't get that one south of the bar, but I do like the creativity. I like the vision and Valid. It just looks like he's having fun out there more than anything, but their job is not over yet. Trifecta still in search of one goal, and this doesn't help Devour towards the net. Kexii double jump save on 0 boost, and there's 2 members in net with nothing. Skill Steal. This man cannot miss the mark. He has a hat trick.
I want to see if there was like no double commits, no nothing, just no boost. That's all it was. And when you have low boost, it's harder to make those defensive plays. Hybo in a 2-goal advantage. Eli collects this one. He's trying to slow the play down a bit. Get everyone a little bit, on the... Bring those heart rates down. They are going to be very quick. That's another demo coming through from Ravi. Has been a very, very aggressive playstyle through from Hybo. Not one... Well, I would say not one we've had to deal with today, but actually Limitless were very demo heavy.
Yes.
FECTA looked very, very good against them. So you'd think after learning this, after seeing it, we played against this playstyle already once today. We know how to beat it. You know Jaguar is going to be in the VC trying to get them there. Kexii can't keep his head over it. Trifecta, for all of their chances, for all the ways that they have tried to get back into this game, Hybo have stood strong.
That's a really good touch there by Hybo, and they have really quieted us down here in the booth. I feel like a lot of the energy that you and I were throwing out there has been sapped, and it's all in the name of Trifecta gonna drop this game number 1 to Hybo, who admittedly have played very well, but I am not, you know, as sitting here on the Trifecta broadcast, I'm not happy with that result. But we do see a lot of the same possession and field domination stats coming out.
Yeah, I do not like that fact, to be honest with you. The fact that it's 60% field domination, and we've gone on to lose the game. Yeah, it just tells me that we're in a little bit of a rut, really, as far as the attacking side goes. And we're playing against teams who love to play on the counter-attack. Limitless played that style very, very well. Hybo, it would appear, play that style very well. The thing with Hybo that I've seen so far, when they aggress, they are all in. They put all 3 members of their team towards the Trifecta net. If we are able to get one of those plays, just turn one of them around and get down the other end, the counter-attack should be relatively easy to hit. But we are currently camped in the Hybo half until it's cleared away by Skillsteal.
It would keep the other team in check as well. You know, if you are able to shut down one of those plays and make it, you know, turn into something positive for yourself, the next time Hybo's going for one of those transition plays, they're going to think twice about how they're establishing it, about what they're going for, because Trifecta's showing an ability to capitalize and go the other way. Valid, really good flip reset, just couldn't get that one necessarily on frame. There is another word of warning that I want to take into consideration here as well. Those stats that we just saw after game 1 were almost identical to what we saw in the series against Limitless.
Yeah.
And I feel like you and I wrote it off as like, you know what, they're playing Limitless. The defense is holding true, but we have the possession. And here, when those roles have been flipped, and we're playing in the game that we're meant to win, but we have the same stats. Maybe it's not our opposition, but it is an issue with how often we're converting on these opportunities to score.
It certainly could be. That's a huge clearance. The redirect comes through from Skillsteal, and that's a double commit from Trifecta in the back lines, but Devour can't take charge quickly enough. Oh my goodness, a miss by Eli as well. But eventually it is cleared away, and Hybo will wonder how they've not gone 1-0 up there. But having said that, Trifecta are going to be wondering how they didn't go 1-0 up in that first minute. It was all in favor of the Trifecta squad, as this one over to the right-hand side and won't be taken through, but Skillsteal able to be there. Kexii collects. Demos Ravi out of the play, but that's a nice pass inside. Devour looks for the shot. He's got a lovely flip reset as well. And sometimes you just have to take your hat off and say fair play for this one. And it doesn't look like we'll get a replay. Just about nicks that one before Eli can get there. Nice play from Hybo, but at the end of the day, Trifecta, they need to be performing at a higher level than this.
And it's, you know, you say that and we see Eli really just floating in the air in a position he shouldn't be. Maybe this is a transition play opposite way. Booming touch by Eli, and it has the pace to sink in. The angle was there as well. So while I wanted to go on a whole monologue about how Trifecta just doesn't look like they should, Eli is gonna say, you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and shut you up right now. We're here to play. Hopefully we see more of that from Trifecta.
That's an absolute laser from midfield from Eli. A beautiful, beautiful shot. Just kisses the crossbar as it flies through. Very, very nice indeed to get Trifecta back in the game, and they needed that. They needed that confidence. They weren't really in the game in game number 1. They were level when it was 0-0, but past that, were never on level terms. And now they have a chance to go ahead, but the shot does not come through. challenge is there. Eli has to be a little bit careful about this one. Let's put it away from danger. But another double commit, notification once again, and that's awkward. FECTA do enough, but these are the kind of plays in defense that really should not be happening and have quite an easy fix. And that fix, by the way, is just talk to each other.
Yeah, the communication doesn't seem to be there. We've seen a couple of double commits that haven't necessarily connected, and even when we have been doubling, nobody's really making contact, maybe bailing for the other person. But if they're both doing that, you get into a weird situation where you're standing in front of the door at some grocery store and keep gesturing to the other person to go in front of you, trying to prove who has the better manners. The trifecta, maybe off the heels of Valid, we've seen him come clutch a couple of times with the mechanics. It's gonna have to be some sort, I believe, individual play. Just with this pace of play right now, it's very slow. It labored touches from either side to get possession, and it's trifecta admittedly look very disjointed.
Here he comes.
Taking that position of love here.
That's a nice shot.
Kexii.
No! I hate to see that, absolutely. You mentioned there, it had to be a solo play, and let's not forget, that's what Limitless relied on. Kexii fires that one into the left-hand side of the goal. Trifecta done playing around. Valid lets that one go. A tiny little team bump, just a nudge to say, go ahead, friend. And Trifecta in the lead against Hybo with 53 seconds left on the clock. Looking to tie the series up. Be really, really good for the mental. It would be really, really good for the momentum. It's what they need. It's what they're looking for, but they need to hold on for the next 40 seconds or so.
Yeah, and we've seen them hold on against Limitless a couple of times, but for a team that's looked very haphazard, this might be a tall task. Valid, just a high lofted ball, looking to take away as many seconds as possible. Kexii gonna challenge, and I like the early pressure here from Trifecta, intercepting the ball before it can really generate any harm off the hood of Hybo. This one to the backboard should be handled by Kexii. It will be. And bailing on it will be Valid. No, that's a little bit concerning, but for 5 seconds we still have the lead. That one off the sidewall. Valid does have the full boosting. He's just staying in his own half. It will touch the turf. Trifecta rebound in a way that we would expect, but maybe not in the manner, looking at these stats with the possession and field domination being almost identical.
Was it the most professional game in the world? No. Did we still get the victory? Yeah, we did. So, you know, take anything with a grain of salt. A 2-1 victory is still a 2-1 victory. Trifecta get the win over Hybo in game number 2. And so that means we are at least going to go to game 4. We got 2 more games of Rocket League of this to watch, Quanzek. It's nowhere near as fast-paced as the game against Limitless. It's nowhere near as... I would say the quality is nowhere near as good as it was in the game against Limitless. This is a scrappy game. This is both teams not playing to their maximum potential. It just means you've got to get the win by any means necessary. Trifecta going to try and do that right here.
That's 100% it. Scrappy, in the mud, dirty, grimy. But at the end of the day, they don't ask how. They ask how many. Eli, but can't make contact there on that sidewall. That's just more of the same what we've seen from this Trifecta roster here in our second series. Just not necessarily as mechanical or on point as they have previously. Kexii, good poise and a good chip around. Actually forces a diving save out of skill steal. Valid trying to get a bump off the backboard. Can't make contact, but Valid with that ball in the middle. Eli, fake 1, fake 2. He can't get it in though. I don't think he saw vision to bully his way in, so he tried to go for the mind games. Couldn't connect necessarily. What a dunk by Skill Steal. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that one off the sidewall was nasty, especially after Trifecta have just been in the ascendancy. But yeah, Eli just out of position there. I mean, to be fair, you're not expecting that one to come right back at you, are you? When that one goes off the sidewall from your teammate. You think he's measured it. You think he's got everything he needs to. You think he's seen where the problems could possibly be with a touch like that, and not done his calculations right. So little misstep from Trifecta. That one's gonna go way by. Kexii maybe looking to knows he kind of assisted Skill Steal with that gold double demo coming through. Valid going to try and accelerate down the left-hand side. Off the bottom, gets a nice 50, tries to get around, can't do so. Third man press comes through from Eli. Keeps the ball in a dangerous position, but eventually it's cleared away. Trifecta collect again on the midfield, but you just don't feel that they've really got any attention from Hybo. You don't feel like Hybo at any real point have gone, oh, this is a dangerous position, we might concede here, we need to be careful. It just doesn't feel like that's been any point, and now that might change. Good shot. Eli back in. Cleared by Ravi. Back in by Kexii. He just reads that 50, but doesn't quite get there. Big win by Valid. Stays in the air. Pinch over to the far side. There's 3 minutes left for Trifecta to try and save this game 3.
Valid. Oh, that one a little bit spooky. He just gets that with the back end of his car, but Trifecta running around their own half, trying to get contact with this ball. That one bullied his way through by Ravi. Oh, I almost wanted to say Ravioli. He's got me out here thinking of food. I'm that disorganized. It is Ravioli. What am I doing? Where have I been?
You're all good.
That might be the first time I've called his name, and you know what? That maybe says something about the way Hybo's playing. Ravioli being that glue between Skill Steal and Devour. We've seen them collaborate a couple of times on these goals and as well the individual play. Skill Steal, he was the one that took center stage in game number 1. Kexii going for a pinch, actually has a lot of momentum behind that one. Eli's already in the air, and I don't know what the game plan was, but it did look fun with them freestyling there for a second. Eli flip reset, can't make contact with the double tap off the back wall. So this one filtering back out before it's sending immediately back in. Kexii double tap! No! Off the crossbar and back out.
That was probably the closest we've come. This one Valid now gets the reset, just doesn't get the second touch. Ball back in. Will it drop at the back post? It won't, but Devour doesn't read it, so Kexii can get this pass back. All 3 members of Hybo rooted to their half of the field. They can now start to explore as this one goes over to the far side. Nice touch by Eli, but again, all 3 members of Trifecta taking up the same position on the pitch. Always something that you try and coach out of these teams. Always something you never want to see. As this one comes across, hit away there by Skill Steal. Now it's down to Eli, 1v3. He's lost the first challenge, and that might be dangerous. Eli makes up for lost time, gets a save, but with 60 seconds ticking down, Trifecta are in a very dangerous spot now that they're 2-0 down.
Yeah, it's only gonna get worse. You were setting the stage for me to take over with what Trifecta needed to do, and Ravioli says, you know what? I am gonna go ahead and send this into the last minute of this game number 3 on my own terms. That's not a good kickoff either. Ravioli looking for the back-to-back, just gonna bump Valid and Skill Steal, flipping to guarantee that one goes into the back of the net. And just like that, a game that looked like there was a chance to come back, seemingly out of our grasp in a matter of seconds here, Rhino.
Yeah, I mean, you talked about all of the air kind of being sapped from the casting booth. I think it's fair to say, if there was any left, has all gone. As this one now down the right-hand side. Don't think we're counting Trifecta out by any means. No, still got a game on the board. Although Hybo will be in series point territory, there is nothing to say that Trifecta cannot bring this back. As this one comes back across, be able to do so. The only thing is that goose egg on the side of Trifecta. They are unable to score in game number 3 so far. Still looking, still chasing. This one comes through. Valid not going to be able to do anything there. And yeah, Trifecta he's shut out in this game, and that is going to be a concern. But coach is there. The players, you would hope, have the mental to be able to fix this one and turn it around. Hybo takes series point, but we're not going to go quietly.
No, I mean, we're not. This is do or die at this point, though. We've seen what this team can do, and all of a sudden, the wind taken out of our sails, and all of the momentum completely swayed in the series number 2. It felt very good to start the day against Limitless, but with how this has gone, it's a massive change of pace, not just for us in the booth, for the team as well. They unfortunately look like their own worst enemy right now. A bunch of unforced errors, not communicating, not on the same page, and Hypo was taking advantage when we saw these teams last face off on Sunday in the Swiss stage. It was a runaway train in favor of Trifecta, so a big pivot, and I guess one that you're happy with if you're a Hypo fan, but we're not over here. Leave! We don't want you!
You do start to wonder if Trifecta had burned themselves out in the game against Limitless. You could see how much effort they put in. You could see that they were so locked in. There's a lot of energy exerted in that first series of the day. It's a question of the fact that maybe they just didn't have anything left. But I tell you who's got something left. That is Kexii, the Brit. Fires into the top left corner, goes coast to coast with possession of the ball. And that's a nice solo play to get things underway in game 4.
And that's, 1 foot in front of the other. That's what we're hoping for from Trifecta. They've done just that. Being the sun was off on the right note to start things here. Eli. Touch over the side. Well, he has to go again, though. Doesn't have help from Valid or Kexii. As Skill Steal blows it higher in the midfield. This one could go in. It will. Skill Steal just a little bit too far back on that dead zone on his analog stick. And that's enough for goal number 2.
Yeah, well, fortunate backflips if you're a Trifecta fan. Unfortunate if you're a Hybo fan. As this 2-0 lead is essentially gifted to Trifecta. Unable to score in game number 1. That is a lovely shot. It's a lovely save from Kexii. That one will fly back across. It's all hands to the pump now for Trifecta. Valid will eventually get this clearance away. The point I was making is, now you've scored 2. Early on in game 4, those nerves about being shut out are settled. It's just about now whether you can shut out the opposition, and they can't. Devour will score. I think there was a fake by Ravi in the middle as well. Skill Steal down the right-hand side. A lovely reset there, sorry. Ravi jumps out the way. Devour flies through. So no shutout either side. And Hybo, they know they just need to win this one in order to get through into top 12. Trifecta, they're going to need more than just this one, but they need to fight for it.
I think the confidence you're carrying with you if you're Hybo is you've seen Trifecta almost like pull themselves apart a couple of times in this series alone. Is here opting for that demo as opposed to the ball. That's going to mean the shot will make its way towards the net. Kexii doing well to call kick for the time being. Devour though, he's going to go ahead and be the follow-up, and yet again, it's Trifecta in their own way. You're yelling out team bump as Valid's trying to rotate back. Kexii can't get their time off of the redirect from his own teammate, and it was a very swift 2-0 lead that all of a sudden it's two unanswered in even quicker fashion.
Any momentum gained by those early 2 goals has been completely destroyed now. You've let Hybo back in with 2 mistakes from our own defense, which has happened a fair bit today for Trifecta, certainly in this series. Not so much in the Limitless series. Did make a couple of mistakes, but not enough really to be concerned about. This game, our defense is getting tested. And right now, it's not up to the test. This one, over to the far side. Would be Kexii. Again, a misreads, misplays. Able to make the play quickly enough where you just know that in the Limitless series, Trifecta had the confidence to do these kinds of things. They had the speed. They had the movement around the field. Looking for the pass back. Eli will get there. Off the top, Valid looking to try and pancake it. Gonna happen. Devour will get beaten by Kexii, but he's got nothing left in the tank. Now Trifecta just have to try and make sure this isn't an attacking opportunity for Hybo. It's actually an attacking opportunity for Valid. Good save on the line by Devour, but better from Trifecta.
And this is our second go around here of just these long-winded, from our own half mechanical individual plays are coming out by way of Trifecta. Haven't been able to cash in on any of these yet. Devour. Anybody looking to get possession of this ball, this game feels so slow. It's a sloth's pace. Other team happy to just loft the ball up and hope for the best. And we're not really seeing any connected passing plays, any sort of communication from all 6 players out here on the pitch currently. It's kind of just been hope for the best with booming these balls. As we see here, Valid really just gets any bit of that he can, turns into a second opportunity for skill steal. Valid on this one has to beat Ravioli, does so. Can he get on?
Find it.
It's gonna be off the post and back out. Kexii, follow up off the backboard. Where's the third man? There he is, Eli. Towards the own corner, can't get it in. Valid can't find the demo. And the best look, the most excitement we've had all game won't amount to anything for Trifecta.
Yeah, you made a really important point that we have talked a little bit about on this cast before, but to go from the outright pace and speed of the game against Limitless to what is, well, it feels like it's Pensioners Rocket League at this point, you know, the walking football version. Like, it just feels like that right now. Valid is able to clear this one away. Will be Eli to try and get this one back, and he's not going to be challenged, so we'll let that one pop up onto his bonnet, but Skill Steal's all the way back, making the save. Good challenge. There's a chance here for Kexii. Over the top of Skill Steal. He can't get back in time. Trifecta with a beautiful dink over the back line. Looks to try and win game 4. Take us to game 5.
The amount of finesse on that ball from Kexii. Just enough pace to get it over the last defender. And just a too little pace, that's not the right word, but I'm too flustered to get it underneath the crossbar. But they need to hold on to force a game 5. Kexii booming clear off the backboard. Redirect for Eli. It's on target, forcing a save out from Skill Steal. They'll have enough boost, but Valid turned away. Happy to just protect the net rather than get an assurance goal. Ravioli towards the net. Eli dropped down. Valid can't connect. Okay, Kexii can though, and that means it's going to have to be a 0-second heroic goal. It won't be. It'll be an insurance, a cushion gathered from Trifecta. So with 1 second on the clock, no matter what happens on this kickoff, we will be seeing a game number 5.
Oh, we will. We will. And that is a big thing for Trifecta. Had to win 2 back-to-back. Had to make Haibo work for it. And actually, field domination goes the other way this time. Haibo with more of the attacking play. Trifecta end up on the right side of the result in the end. And, oh, yeah, my heart is still in my mouth. I'm still very, very stressed, Quanzek. It's all down to 5 minutes of Rocket League. One of these teams will bow out as a 16th to 13th place finish. The other will go through to battle for one more game to try and get top 8. We hope for all the world that it's Trifecta, but the way this series has gone, you would not want to bet money on this one.
Yeah, from the course of our series with Limitless, where my background was dark and now the sun has come out on the western part of the United States, there is a massive shift in gameplay that we're seeing out of this Trifecta team, but they have done enough to hang in here. Maybe not with momentum, but looking to get it early here. Really good demo on the goal line, but an even better save for Haibo. So this is it. This is do or die, and it's going to be die for now as Devour will get the opener.
Yep, this is poor spacing from Trifecta. You can see it right here, the pass down. I do not know what Valid is thinking there in that position. There's no way he's going to get first to the ball, and he's just not in a position to make a defensive play either. So poor positioning from the third man. We had this complaint about Valid, to be honest with you, during the Swiss stage. This is something I brought up a lot on the cast, was when Valid is the last man back for Trifecta, his defensive positioning really needs some work. But in offense, he is one of the most mechanical players in the region. That is close. Ravi makes the save. Just have to believe that, as I say, Eli and Kexii, they're going to have to be doing a lot of the defensive heavy lifting in this game number 5. 1-0 down already, but it's only one goal, Quanzek, that can change in a second or two of Rocket League time.
Yeah, we've seen it happen time and time again, and forgive me for this analogy as I'm parking back. Oh, okay, Kexii opts for just the possession as opposed to a shot on net, but I'm harping back to our Saturday Sports Park podcast talk. What's going on here? It's actually on target. Skill Steal. What a good mechanical flip in order to get back towards that ball. And Two members bumping each other off of that corner, and so Ibo will come back the other way. Good challenge there in the infield. Valid gets enough of it. Kexii, oh, he had Valid as an outlet. I saw it. I saw the vision.
Saw the vision, yeah. Yeah.
It unfortunately couldn't come to pass, though. And Trifecta, they've done well to hold out, but we need a goal. That's what matters now more than anything.
Yep. Need to attack. Need the goal, and Valid is going to try and do that from his own half. Gets past one, doesn't have the boost to get past the second. Going to be off the backboard. Now this one again off the backboard, but hang on, Eli might be unchallenged here. Takes a shot from deep. It's not powerful enough to get past Ravi. Eli with that 50 steal is very nice indeed. Like, it's around two, but oh, he's landed awkwardly. We are starting to tick down to halfway. That is one of the benefits of conceding early, is you have such a long time to rectify your position. Still a long time left in this game. With Hybo Turtle. That's a nice shot. Oh, skill steal. Just gets up quickly enough. Valid trying to get around the side. It's missed by one. The second man isn't close enough. Skill steal brings it back the other way. He only has one to beat, but it's Eli, and Eli will not be beaten today. Devour playing this one back in, cleared away by Kexii, and now can we get some possession, Quanzek?
That's a good opening touch to do just that. Will be dangerous over in front. Ravioli happy to just boot this one ahead. We'll catch back up to it. Eli controlling touch. Good initial contact. He gets the demo as well. Valid. I don't think that's the one they were looking for, but regardless, the end result is Kexii in the corner. Valid chip forward. Demo. Kexii lofting up for himself.
Go on,
Come on. Oh, if they were able to connect on that, that would have been one of the most mechanical plays we've seen in 2025. Eli trying to get through Devour, and Hybo very content. Every time Trifecta has a look on the net, it's all three members from Hybo in the net jump. They're not afraid to double or triple commit. As long as that ball doesn't go in, that's all that matters, and they're succeeding thus far. Trifecta still need an equalizer.
They do, and this is the lowest scoring game so far in this series. I'm pretty confident in saying, oh, what a save that is from Skill Steal, but the defense is now unseated. Ball into the middle, Demo comes through, bumps flying around, but the second man again not close enough. Now again, Kexii plays it into the corner, looks for Eli to try and make something happen. Kexii good 50, Eli turns, but it's not before Skill Steal can send this long. Good win, Eli can't get a touch. Valid, no, why are you faking that? Devour off the sidewall. It's Eli pushing forwards. Ravi's going to be able to send it away, and the boost on Trifecta is not good enough right now to make a counter-attack. Certainly not if Eli is going to be the last man back. He's got no boost to speak of at all. Time being taken off the clock here. 30 seconds, 25 seconds, and Trifecta's OQ1 run is coming to an end if they can't find something here, Quanzek.
They can't even break out of their own half right now. That's the opening step, Eli. That's a crucial miss, and the boost totals almost triple zeros across the board. Eli finally gets full, but this one's floating on. That one will be put in Trifecta. They looked so good against Limitless, but maybe the hardest stars, the brightest stars always burn the quickest. Maybe that's what we're seeing here, unless some kickoff shenanigans happen. It'd have to be a pinch goal that goes in right now, this second. It won't. Trifecta going to drop out in a 13th to 16th finish in a fashion that I don't think anybody on our end would have predicted, especially given how these two teams played each other in the Swiss stage here, Rhino.
Yeah, I mean, for all of the excitement and optimism we had for the Limitless series, we have gone from 100 to 0 here on the Trifecta stream. It's a really deflating game. You just feel like on another day there's another result. I don't understand really how this has happened. I'm sure Jaguar and the players will go away and they will look back on this VOD and they will try and work out exactly how they were beaten by this Hybo team, who, no disrespect to this Hybo roster, by the way. Skill Steal, Ravi, Devour, two young, hungry players, marshaled by an absolute icon of the scene. However, when you look at the roster that Trifecta's put together, Kexii, Valid, Eliakim, and the way that they've been able to play against some of the best and brightest in SSA, you cannot help but feel that this is a premature exit, Quanzek.
No, and the team 100% feels that way too. This is a roster that has the potential to make top 8 and even make a run on top of that if they are on their game and peaking, and that obviously was not the case. They looked good in the opening series against Limitless. It filled me with hope for what was to come for this initial open of the 2025 season, but just did not amount to anything in our second series. And unfortunately, I mean, our own worst enemy time and time again today.
Yeah.
I think Jaguar work with the boys, come up with some game plan. My biggest takeaway sitting here in the box is just that the team of Trifecta looked like they were content to play at the pace of what their opposition set. And it worked against Limitless when they were faster and speedier, but you gotta find your own gear, because when you're playing up against Hybo and Hybo's the sloth-like pace around the pitch, it felt like more often than not didn't play in our favor.
Now, we are being doom and gloom. We are being a little bit pessimistic, but let's look on the positive side of things. Trifecta in this Open Qualifier 1 got a top 16 finish. That is nothing to be trifled with. They were in the top 16 teams of this qualifier. They deserved to be there. And let's call this a stepping stone. Let's call this a starting point for the rest of the season. That is going to do it for our stream here today. Unfortunately, Quanzek, before I sign off, tell the people where they can find you.
Yeah, Quanzek everywhere. It's such a unique string of 7 letters that you just do a Google search, and I think my Twitch and Twitter come up. Those are the 2 places you can find me the most. Appreciate the opportunity here. Thank you, Muzz. Thank you, Simok, our producer in the background. It's been a pleasure. Premature exit, but had a great time regardless.
Yeah, and for myself, it's at RhinoCast11, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, everywhere. You can find me at that place. So I will echo the sentiments of Quanzek. Thank you so much to Simok and to Muzz for the opportunity to cast a wonderful, wonderful Sub-Saharan Africa team. If you think this is the end of Trifecta, you will have to think again. We will be back for Open Qualifier 2 in just 2 weeks' time. You will not want to miss it, right back here on the Jinger Muzz Twitch channel. But for now, for myself, for Quanzek, for everyone in the production team, thank you so much, and we will see you very, very soon for OQ2. Take care. We'll see you there.